Welcome back to Fighting with Friends, and still the Undisputed African Fighting Podcast champion of the world. It's UFC, ladies and gentlemen. UFC 318 takes place this Sunday at 4 a.m. South African time from the Smoothie King Center in the great state of New Orleans. With me today, ladies and gentlemen, the defending Undisputed being champion of the world, brother guy.
What's happening?
What's happening, PG? Also with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen, it's the daddest man of the planet. You might know him as George Jefferson. Around here, we know him as Mr. Borja Brasil. It's Jedi Knight.
Right here.
What's up, Jedi?
Good to have you back.
Yeah, no.
All right, boys.
Cold.
This is... It is, but keep it hot. It's UFC 318, and as always, we'll start.
At the top of the card.
At the top of the card, we have the last dance. It's Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. We have the number 5 ranked Max Jerome Holloway, professional record 26-8. His last fight out, he lost to Ige Patricio. He's coming up against the man who this fight card is bolted around. It's Dustin Poirier. His last dance, he's the number 6 lightweight fighter. His professional record is 30-9. He's got 16 wins by KO, 7 by sub, and 13 first round finishes. Last time out, he lost to Islam Makhachev by 5th round submission. So, boys, I know Brother Guy, Max Holloway, tends to create a bit of a bias for you, but unbiased as you can for us here, give us your breakdown, man.
I know you know me, I'm always biased when it comes to Max Holloway fighting, but I'm also a massive Dustin Poirier fan. Even since his induction into the UFC, even when he was WC days, when he came into the UFC, I was like, this guy can fight, and he's also characteristically made me a fan of the person that he is. You know, he was from South Africa, a colored boy from the hood here. So, I'm a big fan. So, in this fight, I'll try and be as less biased as possible. I think it's going to be a stand-up war. Dustin Poirier, even though he's got jiu-jitsu in him, he did mention the second time, even the first time when he fought, he was saying that it's difficult to take down. And that was the first time they fought. That was, 11? No? Yeah, almost 12 years ago. So that even back then, it was showing that he had a difficult time taking it down. So for me, that's what's going to happen in this fight. They're going to keep it boxing, keep it standing. It's almost reminiscent of the second fight, but this time we're going to have a fitter Max Holloway. You know, he's not going to be the way he was in that fight there. Dustin Poirier, even though he lost against Islam Makhachev, he fought fantastically in that fight as well. I thought maybe that was going to be his last chance there. But, you know, I remember when that fight ended and Max Holloway lost earlier, I remember saying to you guys, Dustin Poirier is going to fight Max Holloway next, and that's going to be a retirement fight. And here we are, gentlemen. I actually want to find the tapes for that, because I remember saying it very vividly to you guys. This is going to be the fight we're going to get. Here we got it. It's going to be 5 rounds. I don't think anyone's going to get knocked out here. Both guys are extremely durable. So it's just going to be a 5-round war, dude. And the one who lands the most is going to be the one that wins. I can't really give you the exact X and O's. I just think that Max is going to be the Max that we saw against Justin Gaethje. Because even when they did their face-off in the media week, Dustin Poirier was like, sheesh, Max looks different. It looks bigger. And even Justin Gaethje, when he faced off with Max Holloway, he held Max's arm and he was like, hey, this is a different brew. Max is a different fighter in lightweight. But I do think that Dustin Poirier is a very tough fight for anybody. So I don't think it's going to be an easy win for either guy. So I'm going to go 50-50 on this one. It's going to be a boxing fight. Both guys box. Neither of them really kick that often. Dustin Poirier, he's got jiu-jitsu, but I don't think he's going to try and wrestle with Max. So it's going to be a 5-round boxing match. And the one who lands the most here and the most devastating blows is going to be the one that wins. And when they fought the first time, Max wasn't a proper lightweight then. So none of his punches were devastating. Even though he rocked Dustin Poirier twice in that fight, it wasn't devastating shots the way Dustin rocked him. You know what I mean? But now that Max is, he's a fully fledged lightweight now, I think it's going to be a interesting fight to watch. I will give the speed and the volume to Max Holloway for sure. But Dustin's got the reach and the power, and he knows how to use that. One of the best guys in that division. So yeah, man, I can't wait. I wanna sleep and want this fight to happen tomorrow. Can't wait for Saturday. For Sunday, excuse me.
So no pick there, Ross.
I'm gonna pick Max always. Max always. I never bet against him. Never pick against him. Always pick against Max. But I'm not gonna pretend that Dustin is gonna be a pushover. You know what I mean? Dustin Poirier is Dustin Poirier. He's the diamond for a reason, and he's been a fan favorite, one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon in the UFC. So, yeah, man. I'm just trying to be honest and logical about it. I don't think it's gonna be as cut and dry.
Jedi Knight.
Yeah, it's a fun fight to have. It looks like it might even be a double retirement. I suppose the guys have been around for a long time. And like for Max, I think if he wins this fight, how much does it boost his stock in the lightweight? You know what I mean? Can he still do a run for the bout, or is he just going to be around for like top fights? But anyway, this fight, fantastic fight for Dustin Poirier in his hometown of Louisiana, New Orleans. And yeah, I mean, Hall of Famer, you can't say nothing bad about the man. Paid the cost to be the boss. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think Ross already pointed out all the guys' key things, and that also Max is going to be a bit different in this fight. We might also see a slower Dustin, someone who's kind of on the way out. That's why he's retiring. Because it also feels like an Islam fight was, like a long time ago. We don't know what kind of shape it's going to come into. With Max getting knocked out in his last fight, it does also raise some questions. He goes in there, or is he going to be the same kind of guy? But I do think that if he can take the fight into the later rounds, he can definitely put off a win. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying he can't knock Dustin out, but I definitely think he can weigh on him and take him into the deeper rounds and beat him that way, for sure. Like, that's more for me how I see him winning this fight. And for Dustin, I think he's just got to control the distance and kind of choose when they engage and things like that, and maybe use more of his grappling, kind of keeping Max against the fence and making the fight to his pace. Because if he doesn't, then you know what I mean. I think Max is gonna keep the pace up high, where he can be better than Dustin Poirier, where he's gonna start to fade. So I'm leaning toward. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, but I am leaning towards Max, simply because of the durability, his experience, and whatever. Even though Dustin's got 2-0 on him, I just feel like it means more for Max to get a win here.
But
Not
the guy,
that Dustin it's gonna make him look shit. I mean, it's his last fight, and it's in his hometown. He's still gonna be cheered and loved, and people are still gonna respect him. Obviously, he wants to go out with a win and have a BMF belt in his lounge to say like, "Yeah, this was my retirement fight." But sometimes fairy tales can be nightmares, Dustin.
For sure. So yeah, two things there, brother Guy. You mentioned to you, Max still does have a title run in him. So that's the one thing I want to talk about just before we wrap this one up. And then the other one is just a point on, since their second fight, which like you said was quite a long time ago, how much has Max evolved, and what do you think have been like the biggest evolutions in his game since the last fight, and how does that influence the way he comes into this one?
Yeah, good question. So I won't say a lot has changed. He still has the same style, right? The high volume, the typical kickboxer, right? And an incredible takedown defense. Max, that's what made Max like this amazing fight, and why he went in that 12 fight winning streak on his way to getting the title. was people couldn't take him down, and they couldn't stand with his stamina to go, because in every round he ramps up that volume, right? But what's changed since he lost to Volkanovski the third time? Max put on more gains, and he sits down more on his punches. Before, he would just piece you up, and in the third round you can't do anything about it, and then he's folding you, right? But since I'd lost to Volkanovski for the third time, he went on a run, knocking people, starching people. The zombie he put it on what's his name? The Jid used to like so much.
Yeah,
Just fought last week.
Rodriguez.
He put Rodriguez. And what's the other guy, man? Keita. And then there was another dude, Arnold Allen. He basically took out the top 5 quick with devastating shots. So I saw the difference was he's sitting down on his punches a bit more. Then he fought Gaethje lightweight, and he had that power in his shots. Granted, it's still the same Max we saw, right? He pieces you up every round. But then towards that last round, you see him start to throw a little bit more heavier shots. So there hasn't really been a massive evolution on the eye, but he's never really knocked people out in the UFC. And then we saw that, and we're like, okay, he used to TKO people a lot. You know what I mean? Barrage of strikes, and people are going, oh, he TKOs you. But now he throws one shot and he's dropping people. So that's a big difference I noticed from Max Holloway. For Dustin Poirier, he also, ever since he moved to lightweight, he just become this, heavy power puncher, bro. When he hits you fall, right? But I do think that Max is still on his way for a title. He's only 32 years old. He's going to be 33 in October. So yeah, I don't see it with Dustin's 36, going on 37. I can see why he's moving out. Whereas Max is ranked number 5 in lightweight division. If he beats Dustin Poirier with a fantastic 5-round decision, or maybe even a 4th-round finish, it puts him in that conversation again. It really does. And in my opinion, he never really left the conversation just because he had that one loss and it was so devastating. People's like, oh, right, he's a pituitary. He's done. His career is finished. It's like, what do you mean, bro? He's still from the same age group of those fighters. So, yeah, Max still got at least 4 years, in my opinion, before he starts to call it.
Yeah. I think people think about him as this 38-year-old man because he's been fighting for such a long time. But people forget, man. People forget. But yeah, actually, for me, on that note about the evolution, I'm just gonna say that, like you said, because Max's takedown defense is so good, we don't really get to see his ground game, and I think that's a big part of what could be the difference here. If Dustin does get him to the ground, I think he might sub him, bro. So that's actually going to be my pick. I'm going to go Dustin Poirier by sub here, bro.
Yeah. Dustin did say in an interview that if Max comes and says, listen, let's stand and bang in the middle of the octagon, he will agree to it, and then he'll just throw overhand and then double leg. Now we grab him. What are you going to do about it now? Because no one else does that. They all fall for the Max taunt, right? They all fall for it, and they're like, okay, now we're going to box this guy. And Dustin's like, no one shoots on this man when he does that. So he's like, I'll shoot on him if you ask me to bang with him. I'm gonna take your legs out of you. I'm keen to see it.
There you go, bro. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comments. This is a fantastic fight. Very much looking forward to this one. Jedi Knight, do you have any final thoughts here before we move, bro?
Oh yeah, I think draw, double retirement.
Double KO. Let's go.
Yeah, double KO.
Take that one to the bookies, boys. There we go. But okay, then we'll keep moving to the middleweight division where Dricus du Plessis is, of course, the champion. We have Paulo Costa coming up against Roman Kopylov here, number 13 versus number 14. Paulo Costa, the destroyer. 14-4. He's got 11 wins by KO. He's on a 2-fight slide. Last time out, he lost to Sean Strickland by quite a boring split decision. Let's be real. Yeah. Coming up against Roman Kopylov, who's 14-3, 12 wins by KO on a 2-fight streak. Last time out, he beat Chris Curtis by 3rd round KO. I believe that was a head kick. Yes. I mean, pretty similar professional records here, but definitely a contrast in form and current fortunes. So let me go to Jedi Knight for this one. First off, Jedi, what you got first here, bro?
Yeah, Paulo Costa, he was always, he was a big name once upon a time. Now he's down at whatever number he's down at. I think he's kind of becoming one of those dudes that you can take beat him and have that belt as a middleweight's coming up. I would be Paulo Costa all the time. He's going to be blown up. I tell all my friends, call this guy because he's now nothing, bro. He's just like an inflated dinosaur.
Yeah.
So I think Roman Kopylov is going to drown him. He's going to make him just go backwards and drown him out with volume. I don't think he's going to cope. I don't think he's going to he's obviously got a fight. Punches chance because he carries a lot of power and he's heavy. I would first wait to see if he makes the weight cut before I even start training.
The secret juice.
That secret juice, bro. I love a thing that. And yeah, Jada, I'm inclined to agree with you there, bro. But PG, give us your thoughts on this one, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be another striking war, right? These guys don't really go for takedowns. Even though Roman Kopylov can kind of wrestle, but he's just like a first and foremost. That's what he loves to do. To watch his fights, that's mainly what he does. But I think stylistically, it's going to favor Roman Kopylov, in my opinion, because Roman Kopylov, he strikes from anywhere, and he's got more volume. He's got a lot more weapons to throw. Whereas Paulo Costa, you know what he does, right? He's going to try and jab the air, and then what he's going to do is he's going to try and walk into the cage, and then when you get to the cage, that's when he lets these things go, right? He throws a hard head kick, those 1-2 combinations, but like hard stuff, right? Heavy power shots. I don't know if he's going to be able to track Roman Kopylov down to the point where he can get him stagnated or let him be a stationary target, right? Kopylov don't fight like that. Kopylov is very light on his feet, very kickboxing style, so he moves a lot, right? So he's got the momentum. Paulo Costa had opportunities. In my opinion, his best opportunities was when he was in the top 5. Because he was in the top 5 for quite some time, and then he just went down the drain. And I think he's been struggling to make his way back to that top 5 again. He's ranked number 13 at the moment. I think he's I'm a 2-fight losing streak. But even before that, it was a very win one lose one. He didn't really go on a streak the way he did when he was fighting against Johnny Hendricks, for example. No, that era of fighters when he was really putting people away. I think people caught up to his game. They realized that, when he fought easy after that, he just went downward. Everyone was able to beat him. They're like, this guy's not going to be dangerous once you get to the later rounds.
Yeah.
And you can put it on him. It's very difficult to put away.
I think psychologically after that defeat, he was destroyed for a while, bro. And I think he's just found it difficult to come back from that.
Yeah. I forget what his age is as well, but I just feel like the middleweight division has got their new heroes. They got their new fighters, and you know what I mean, like the Druckers, the Imavovs, the Baralios. There's new guys filling in. Chimaev is now in the division. The Paulo Costa is of that Vittori generation. They've had their chance. Now they kind of slide in soon, if I'm being honest. I just think he's going to be a fighter that will stay just outside the top 10 and put on good fights. But I don't think he's going to be a good contender, in my opinion. So in this fight, I think Kopylov wins. I think Kopylov wins on decision. Paulo Costa is very difficult to put away. I think the easy one was the only one that knocked him out. Everyone else cracked him, but he took the shot. So, you know what I mean? He's able to stay in the fight. So I think Roman Kopylov is going to have
punching bag.
He's a punching bag, basically. However, I've seen Kopylov get rocked before. And we know what Paulo Costa carries. So anything can happen in a fight. Roman Kopylov can walk into a high kick and then he's knocked out in round 2. So anything can happen. But I do want to go with Roman Kopylov in this one, just because the guy has the momentum. He's a bit of a better striker, in my opinion. He just doesn't have the same power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely, BG. I'm agreeing with pretty much everything you said there, as well as Jedi. So yeah, I'm also going Kopylov by decision here. But you can, of course, let us know your thoughts in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. BG, any final words on this one?
It's a good fight. It's actually a really good card. But looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a good fight for the fans. Because Paulo Costa is probably going to try and go in and bully him, and that's going to force Roman Kopylov to be dangerous. So I think it's going to be a good fight.
Fair. But yeah, we can then move to the welterweight division, where we have Big Mouth Kevin Holland, looking very good at welterweight. I might add, his professional record is 28-13. He's got 14 wins by KO, 9 by sub, 13 first-round finishes on a 2-fight streak. Last time out, beating Vicente Luque by second-round submission. Coming up against the unranked D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, 19-5-0. He's got 9 wins by KO, 4 by sub. He's also on a 2-fight streak, and the last time out he beat Santiago Ponzinibbio by round 3 KO. So yeah, I'm gonna go straight to you for this one, BG. How's it play out, bro?
Fun fight. This is one for the fans for sure. I might add, Kevin Holland, this is his fourth fight. His fourth fight in 2025, by the way. How mad is this man? He's been very active. He's obviously trying to prove a point. I think maybe he's really trying to go for a welterweight title run. Beating Daniel Rodriguez wouldn't really encourage that title run, in my opinion, because Daniel Rodriguez is not really gonna, boost your career if you beat him. Let's be honest, right? But he will be able to put on a good money fight for you because he's a fan favorite for some reason. Taller. He's not taller, but he's got good reach. He loves to box. His last fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio was a good fight. I did think he was gonna win, but even in that fight, there was moments where Daniel Rodriguez looked a little bit tired. He was letting Ponzinibbio back in the fight. I just thought I don't know if Daniel Rodriguez can go any further than that. And then he got his knockout. Kevin Holland's on a massive streak though. He tapped out Vicente Luque. Right, he beat Gunnar Nelson. He's on a good streak at the moment. He's starting to show us shades of Kevin Holland when he was fighting early stages of the middleweight, right? And he had Jacare Souza on his back, those kind of things. So Kevin Holland, I always thought about it back then. I was like, if this guy focuses, he'll be very, very dangerous. He'll maybe even get a title shot. And I can see that switch. If you listen to his interviews, you can listen to how he speaks, you can see it in his face. There is a switch. He's like, okay, let me actually just give this a shot. Let me just go full in and see what happens here. And now he's fighting more comfortably, fighting with confidence, not looking like someone that's just easy to take down and people ragdoll him and then they tap him out very quickly, right? Granted, that was Khamzat Chimaev, different kind of fighter, I get that. But since he's moved to welterweight, he's kind of honed in on his division, on his weight and everything. And he's also tall. He's a very good striker as well. And he's dangerous in all avenues. I just wonder if he's going to be able to take Daniel Rodriguez down. Daniel Rodriguez is a tough dude. He's heavy. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to go with Kevin Holland for the momentum. I think he's going to be able to win the fight. Possibly second round finish again. If not, he's going to get a decision win here. But D-Rod can bang, man. That man know how to stay in the pocket. He puts those dukes up liquor. So I'm quite fascinated for this fight. So I'm not going to completely count out D-Rod. But I just think that Kevin Holland, at this stage in his career, what he's trying to go for, I don't think people must take it lightly or sleep on what he's actually doing right now. The win streak means something to him. So I think Kevin Holland's going to go in here and get the job done.
Very nicely done there, BG. Give thanks. Drop a like on the video for BG's in-depth analysis. Jedi Knight. Okay,
Kevin Holland is always a household name. You know what I mean? He's a fun guy. Everyone likes to watch him fight. Likes to talk a lot of shit too. Whether he's losing or winning, the fight's gonna be fun. That we know. True, he does seem like he's a bit more serious about his run now, especially after the loss against the champ. I think it kind of woke him up. D-Rod, it doesn't really boost Kevin's stock if he beats D-Rod, because D-Rod's not, he's not a familiar name, even though he does put up the fight against, what's the dude's name again?
Ponzinibbio.
Yeah, that was a fun fight, but Ponzinibbio looked like he's ready to retire, or he actually looked like he came from the fucking club. He was hungover or something. Like, the guy didn't throw a punch for 2 minutes in one round. For the half the round, he didn't throw one punch. He just circle, that was getting punched. So you can't really go off anything like that. But I do think when Daniel is backed up, he's going to let his hands go. And he's a guy who's got a lot of knockouts on his resume. Yeah. So he's going to play into a fun fight. I think Kevin Holland's just going to mix it up so well and put on a pace that D-Rod is not going to be able to keep up with. And probably choke him out or TKO him out. I see a finish here, probably second round. I think Kevin Holland needs to put about two wins together, 2 or 3 wins together to get his name up there again, close to the top 5 guys.
Jedi spitting facts here.
he also needs to just focus on this one weight because fighting in middleweight doesn't really serve him, bro. I mean, he can and he competes very well there, but that's not his place. You know what I mean? He's better at welterweight.
Much better.
You know what?
I don't think he competes at middleweight that well, bro, because he always gets taken down and dominated. Ige, go.
No, I was going to agree with you. I was just going to say that, this Kevin Holland in welterweight is showing me shades of Chitty Bang Bang coming down to welterweight, going on a run. And they got similar builds, if you think about it, right? Kevin Holland and Chidi Njokuani has got very similar builds for the welterweight division. They're actually tall and massive because they got the middleweight height, but they don't really have the middleweight. Because the middleweight guys are technically basically light heavyweight dudes cutting down to middleweight, right? So Kevin Holland is outmatched when it comes to those guys. If you think about RDR or Drickus or Imab, any of those guys, Kyle, they're all quite big middleweight dudes. Kevin Holland just hits that mark. He's like, what's his name? The guy they knocked out with Joaquin Buckley. They can make the 185, but they're just not that size. You know what I mean? Even though they walk that weight, they don't. That's not what they walk around at. So I think making them move to welterweight is a phenomenal move for them. So yeah, I think Kevin is on a mission here, and I think Jed's right. We're probably going to see a second round, possibly third round finish.
Yeah, I'm going for another sub in this one, boys. But ladies and gentlemen, you can let us know your thoughts in the comment. I would Kevin Holland by sub here, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I think he knocks him down and then
like a real naked
guillotine.
Yeah,
like a guillotine. But we can see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. So yeah, lots to look forward to. Very excited about that one, boys. But we can move then to our boy Danish in the featherweight division. It is Dan Ige, channel favorite, number 11 ranked featherweight. He's 19-5-0. 7 wins by KO, 7 first round finishes. Last time out he beat Sean Woodson by third round KO. Coming up against Patricio Pitbull, who is a veteran in the game, professional record 36-8. 12 wins by KO, 12 wins by sub, 12 first round finishes, but looked absolutely shite against Ige Rodriguez his last time out, where he lost by unanimous decision. Jedi Knight, what can you tell us here, bro?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very fun fight. And it's also a fight where it's like whoever wins this fight is going to get boosted into the talk of, being in the top 5 of the featherweight division, because they're both really good. Dan Ige, we know he's been the gatekeeper there for a long time, and he's proven now that the young guns, they still got a lot to learn and go through. And I think fighting a former champ from wherever this guy was from, it's going to be a good test. It's going to be a good test to see if he can actually fight with the top dudes. For Patricio, I think he's never been in there with a Ige Rodriguez moving kind of guy. Yeah. So he just super frustrated, never getting close to Rodriguez to land anything significant or anything like that. So I think he's gonna be, he needs to get a win, because otherwise they're gonna cancel this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is one of the fights where it's kind of like, it's all in here, bro. If you don't get a win here, I don't know what's going to happen with this man. He's probably going to have one more fight after that. But if I'm leaning towards anyone, I think Dan Ige, if he can defend getting taken down, because both guys are not very tall. This is kind of the same build fighting each other, you know what I mean? Where Rodriguez, there was a lot of advantages in his favor, especially that Patricio couldn't take him down because he doesn't wrestle. Usually Rodriguez, when he fights these shorter guys, are good wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like, what's the dude, the Jersey guy? What's
Sean Brady.
Alvarez?
Sean Brady,
but he's welterweight.
Yeah.
That's Sean Brady, man. He was in the featherweight. That small guy, the small featherweight dude. It's an old guy. Anyway, the guy that smashed Ige Rodriguez, they're mainly guys that can shoot. They can go in for double leg or single leg and take him down. I don't think Patricio can do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? That's not jiu-jitsu range, which I don't think he's going to be very successful in doing. He's going to have to stand in the middle of the octagon and fight this dude. So I think Dan Ige, as long as he keep it in the middle, he's going to win.
You got Dan Ige getting a finisher, you don't know?
No, I think he's going to decision him.
Fair play, brother guy.
It's just going to be defending takedowns, stuff in the clinch and things like that, getting out of the clinch and piecing Patricio up. But Patricio is going to come in there on fire because he has to win.
Yeah, he has to, yeah.
PG.
Yes, sir. So I agree with Jed in the sense that there are similar builds and also the stand-up styles are a little bit similar, but I think Dan Ige is a better striker in my opinion. I've watched Patricio Pitbull in Bellator before, especially when he had that rivalry with Michael Chandler. And Patricio, he can grapple. First and foremost, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. That's what he loves. He loves jiu-jitsu. But he can stand and bang, right? He's got some heavy hands and he's got that hands of stone vibe. But being 36, coming to the UFC at this stage in your career, I feel like it's a waste of a purchase, in my opinion, for the UFC. Or a waste of a transfer, if you put it that way. They should have gotten him when he was in his 20s, when he was really like peaking. You're bringing him over right now, and I feel like the UFC is trying to favor him by giving him Dan Ige, because they know Dan Ige is going to stand and bang with him. They know Dan Ige is not going to try and take him down. So that's going to be like, at Pitbull, you really want to get the fans back on your side. You had a very bad display in your debut. Let's give you a guy that's going to stand and bang with you and give you the opportunity to actually get that knockout and remind the fans that you are that former champion of 2 divisions, featherweight and lightweight. Let's show them why we actually signed you. I get that kind of vibe here in this fight. But I feel like he's going to get a rude awakening when he realizes that Dan Ige don't play that game. Dan Ige is a tough mother effer. You know what I mean? Hardcore, and he's got stamina for days. He's very difficult to take down. Only the best guys have taken him down, really. And he's got dynamite in those hands for the 145er, bro. The man can crack. So I think Jed's right. I think it's going to be in the middle of the octagon. I don't think it's going to go to the ground at some point. Perhaps Patricio might realize that he can't really get the advantage on the striking either. And he might try and initiate some of the grappling. But then again, we'll see Dan Ige with this fantastic takedown defense. He's going to be like, nope, we're going to stay in the center of the octagon and we're going to punch each other out. So I think Dan Ige's got the advantages here. Because Pitbull striking is very, I don't want to say one-dimensional. It's obviously
he's like Michael Chandler, bro.
He's like Michael Chandler, exactly. He strikes the same.
Chandlering around here in the UFC.
He strikes exactly the same. So very similar style to Michael Chandler ways. And Dan Ige, we were seeing what he strikes like. He's got a very good 1-2 on him. He can even fake and then pull you into it. He's very good at doing that. So I think Dan Ige has advantages here as being the slicker striker, and because he's got such good takedown defense, it's gonna make it hard to put. I think Pitbull is still
all the Bellator guys are Michael Chandler in the UFC, bro. Michael Chandler, Patricio Pitbull, Michael Venom Page, all the Michaels. Yeah. This guy's name is probably Patricio Michael Pitbull.
Very likely, bro. But yeah, I know you're joking there, but there's a bit of truth to that, bro. So let's hope Danish finds his chin here and we never see Michael Pitbull ever again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Bellator.
If you boys have no other thoughts on this one, then we can keep moving.
It's an exciting fight, though.
Yeah, definitely bang over fight here for sure. But yeah, we'll go to the
that is the fight of the night, Baba.
We got Michael Johnson, veteran in the game, 24-19. He's got 10 wins by KO, 8 first-round finishes, and he's on a 2-fight streak, beating Otman Azayatar by second-round KO in his last fight. Is coming up against the Mexican hero, Daniel Zellhuber. He's 7 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub, 5 first-round finishes. Last time out, he lost to Esteban Ribovics at UFC Norchain. That was by split decision, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, brother Gaia, what can you tell us on this one, bro?
Wasn't that at the Sphere?
Noche,
Ivan
yeah.
Lubovic's. Oh, it wasn't
Noche.
Noche card. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Jade might be onto something here in terms of fight of the night. Just because we all know what Michael Johnson's like, right? He's the kind of guy that goes in there and just drops bombs. And then when he misses all those bombs, you see him take deep breaths. Round 2, and then then he's the one there on the floor knocked out. So that's the kind of fight you get with Michael Johnson. He's either gonna beat you up in the first round, or he's gonna be the one laying flat on the ground in the second round. All or nothing, bro. He's an all or nothing guy, and I like that about him. But I do want him to be a bit more defensive. And I think it's a good fight for Daniel Zellhuber as well, in the sense that he's taking on a legend, someone that's very, very experienced, right? Michael Johnson's been in there with the best guys, like the best guys. So I think it's a very good test for Daniel Zellhuber, especially because he's coming off a loss. He's gonna want to go in there and prove, listen, I am the new breed of the lightweight division. I take out this guy. No, give me another tough opponent. Even though I think that my guy for lightweight division outside of Max Holloway is Joe Alvarez. Zellhuber is in that same kind of conversation, right? Young prospect that just looks very good striking wise, good wrestling. The fight against Lubovic's beat him because Zellhuber got, in my opinion, he fought the occasion that night. He was too rushing. He was just trying to be too aggressive and giving up spaces, giving up opportunities for Lubovic's to actually just hurt him in every moment. So Zellhuber can be more composed like he was before the fight against Lubovic's. Bring that composure back because he's got the talent, he's got reach, he's got height, he's got speed, he's got the pizzazz and everything. But I think that fight against Lubovic showed us that he's still young because he fought the occasion that night. So I think this could happen again because of the opponent that he's got. He's got Michael Johnson. Now I know Michael Johnson is not a former champion or anything like that, but he's fought the champions of the lightweight division. So it could be another big occasion for him. It's again on the pay-per-view. So Zellhuber's going to have to prove to everybody why UFC keeps putting him on these pay-per-view cards, not putting him on fight nights. And I think at 25 years old, he should be fighting more fight night cards at the moment and not being rushed. You know what I mean? To fight these big names just yet. So this could be a tough test for him. Even though I think Zellhuber's going to win, it's still going to be a tough test because Michael Johnson needs picking hard, though. And that's always dangerous for anybody to fight.
Very nicely done, BG. Jedi Knight, let us know your thoughts here, bro.
Yeah, I think possible fight of the night. I like it's the opening fight too. So O's are gonna come in there, put on a show, they're gonna bang, and it's gonna be fun. Zellhuber is for sure one of the future stars of the division. There's no doubt about that. Whether he wins this fight or loses this fight, I think he's just gonna carry on and become one of the household names in this division. He's a stud. He's fearless, you know what I mean, and you can see he's on a mission to try and be the number one guy. Michael Johnson, I think he obviously can't do a title run or whatever. He's a guy who just loves to fight, you know what I mean? And as you said earlier, it's all or nothing with him. I think in this fight he's gonna try and wrestle a bit and showcase that wrestling that he has, and he's probably gonna try and come in heavier and bigger, and put that on Daniel and try and survive it. Obviously, we know Daniel goes in there and it's also 100 mile an hour, puts on the pace. That's fucking fight. In this kind of fight, I don't like to predict or pick a winner because it's one of those fights where you know what I mean, they can get knocked out by something they don't see, and that's kind of what we can see, or they can just stand and bang to a decision and we really don't know what's going to happen. The main thing for me is going to be Michael Johnson's cardio if it does go to the later rounds, but I'm predicting an early stop for one of these guys, bro. It's going to be wild. I don't think Michael's going to try and wrestle, but once he gets cracked, it's going to be a street fight. The Oaks are going to fight.
Let's go. And I will let you boys know that Michael Johnson is officially the biggest underdog on the card at 5.65. So if you're saying this is as close as it is, bro, then the bookies might be missing something. Michael Johnson, KO is 11, bro. 11.
Say again. Michael by
Michael
KO.
Johnson by KO 11, Baba.
In any round.
In any
Yeah.
round.
That's not a bad bet, bro.
That's a
Michael
good bet.
Johnson
That
in
is
the
not
first
bad.
round, 21. Michael
That's
Johnson in
actually
the
something.
second round, 23. Michael Johnson in the third round, 29.
Yeah.
So but for Zellhuber, they predicting TKO KO first round.
Nah, I think it's the other way.
They're predicting decision for Zellhuber.
Yeah, I don't think it's a KO. I'll tell you why today. And for the audiences out there, Michael Johnson's striking right is not. It's not like the most. It's take a look at Dustin Poirier, for example, or even Max, and look at how they box. Right? Look at their mold. Michael Johnson. If you look at tape of Michael Johnson, he swings, bro. He just gets in there, guard up, and he walks forward, and he starts letting those hands go. Different types of techniques, like wide, and doesn't he throw the jabs out there? Maybe goes to the body, like the way Rodriguez did last week, where he goes down, up. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that stuff. Doesn't even kick either. He just goes in and boxes with you and try not to get taken down and gets tired at round 2, round 3. So if you want to make a bet for Michael Johnson to get a knockout, it's only round 1. It's not going to be round 2. It's not going to be round 3. It's only going to be round 1. And Daniel Zellhuber, he can throw knees and elbows and all kinds of shit. So he can catch Michael Johnson. When it goes to round 2, it's 100% going to be Daniel Zellhuber's chance to fight. It's his fight to lose. I'm telling you now, it's his fight to lose. After that. That's what's going to happen.
That's the main thing. Is Michael Johnson's cardio going to be able to hold up into the second round? I think that's the big question for this fight. But we know the first round is going to be nuts. Don't blink, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, bet Michael Johnson in round 1 or Daniel Zellhuber by decision. It sounds like. But all right, boys, that rounds out. All finish here. So giving you another way to make money there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that rounds out our main card quite nicely, PG. Honorable mentions for the prelims, please. You mentioned Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. What are your thoughts on this?
That's a good fight.
PG, why have you?
I think it's a good fight for the bantamweight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jedi, you can go.
Yeah, we need the Oaks to come up, bro. We need some new talent in the division. These are two studs, two boys that's on a run, and they're gonna see each other again for sure. This is just the first fight in a possible trilogy.
I can see it as well, Jedi. I put these names on the honorable mentions just purely because they sitting at the bottom of the bantamweight division, but like you mentioned, they are the studs, right? They are the ones that are going to be the future, right? If you can see them progress, I do think that both of them love to stand and bang. Even though Kyler Phillips has got a bit of a well-rounded game, but I mean, he likes to get in there and let those hands flow. But the big but, I think Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Oliveira is gonna start him, maybe crack him with something hard because Vinicius can strike, my bro. He's very good at that.
Yeah, no, the knockout power is only growing with Oliveira, and you can see the other guys are getting fearful. He's worse than that. He's got more power than that Payton kid, and that Payton kid is also going to be one of the top dudes in this division. Yeah. But Kyler Phillips, I think, he's probably the most dynamic guy of them in terms of creativity and technique and kind of flashy things, and he's very good. But Oliveira is super tight, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and super fast. I think the speed is actually going to be on his side. I think it's up to Kyler Phillips to find entries on Oliveira. But Oliveira is going to stand in the middle and he's going to tell him, come.
Let's go.
Come.
Boa!
Brazil!
Sorry, Eddie, you were going to say something?
No, you go, BG. Vittori and...
okay. Finally, guys, we're finally getting this fight. These boys have been each other's necks for the last couple of years now. We're finally going to get this fight. Jedi, what else are your thoughts on these two before I get my breakdown?
Yeah, I put Martin Vittori in the same category as Paulo Costa, bro. Call these guys out, bro. They are done. Call them out. That's only going to make Brandon Allen's stock better. I think Brandon Allen, if he doesn't finish him, he's gonna, he's gonna drown him, beat on him, lay on him, and he's gonna pull out the win here. I'm going with Brandon Allen for sure.
Would Brandon Allen fight in his last fight
Hernandez.
Oh yes, that was the rematch. That was their trilogy fight actually, and Namis beat him. Yes, I remember.
Mm.
I like Brendan Allen when he's confident.
It's good. It's good.
He's really good when he's a dominant kind of fighter. But he has showed me that signs of, I can throw the towel in when I can feel I'm not really gonna beat this dude, and I go into the third round. I'm struggling to get a takedown. He mentally throws that towel in, bro, and he keeps up rounds. He keeps up the fight. Basically, I've seen it happen, especially against the Hernandez fight when Hernandez was just basically he was beating Hernandez for the first 2 rounds, and then he started realizing actually can't take Hernandez down anymore. Kind of gave up on himself. I don't like that part of Allen. I want him to stay here, stay powerful, because he's going to need that against Vettori, because Vettori's not going to slow down. Even though this is the old guard fight, right? Vettori's not going to slow down. He looked not as good in his last fight, but he survived the 5 rounds after being out for 2 years. So he got that ring rust out of the way now. Now he's got another fight against someone who really wants to fight against Allen. I think there's a lot of bad blood in this fight. I think it's going to be hella aggressive. But the one thing we know about Vettori is that he can go 5 rounds, and he's got volume. He can keep going. So Allen's going to have to really have his wits about him in this fight. I think Allen's got the better wrestling, and I think he should definitely use that. Even if he's just grinding out the round, right? Even if he's just clinching up against the cage, pumping on the toes, dirty boxing. Do all those things. Don't try and fish for a knockout or fish for submission. Ideally, you want to get those things right, but let it work for you. Don't rush any of that. Vettori is a guy that everyone cracked before, and the man has never got knocked out. Everyone hit him very hard, rocked him, and the man still fights the 5 rounds. So even this is not a 5-round fight, but I mean, he goes all the way, and then he just gets more energy as the fight goes on. He amps up his volume. So I just fear for Brendan Allen that if he feels he can't get Vettori out of there early enough, I wonder if he's going to be able to hold himself together when the round goes on, because Vettori's going to obviously pick up the volume every single round. Good fight, good rivalry, and I expect him to be fireworks in this one.
Nicely done, BG. Very nicely done, boys. And that will wrap up our prelim and main card coverage for today, BG.
One more thing, I just want to quickly touch base on these other 2 fights. I didn't put them in the notes because they weren't that much to talk about. But Francisco Prado is a good boxer. I think he's an entertaining fighter to watch. I have never seen this other dude before. That's why I didn't put the notes there. But I have seen the 2 below that in Abeta Gutier taking on Robert Valentin, who won the Ultimate Fighter in season 31, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is really going to be a good fight. I think this is going to be a dangerous fight because Gutier is a strong puncher, heavy-handed kind of guy. Robert Valentin is a finisher of note. Even though his first few fights in the UFC hasn't really been what I've seen in Robert Valentin when I watched the Ultimate Fighter. He's very good, he's elusive, he's dangerous, he's got elbows, good knees, he's very creative. I expect this fight to be a war, and I think someone's going to go to sleep over there.
Fair play, BG. Are we done?
Yeah, that's it. The early prelims, even though they are recognizable names there, but they're all not worthy of our conversation.
Yo. Massive words there. But give thanks, BG. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have made this far in the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Boys, give us your pre-fight rating. We'll go to Jedi first.
Yeah, I mean, what if one of them don't make the scale or something? Then we're gonna really have not a look at that.
So what's your
great card? I think it's a fantastic card for Dustin Poirier's send-off. It's a massive long-term story coming on with these 2 guys. There's no bad blood, just a lot of respect, and they obviously enjoy fighting each other. For Poirier, he's already 2-0 up, and it would be nice to see him go with the belt, but it also would be nice to see Max get one back from him, and always your old hands and hug each other, kiss, and Max maybe donates the belt to him and be like, nah, you can keep it, man. Yeah, that's how it's going in.
I'll give you the BMF, you give me the hot sauce.
All right. Okay, then no pre-fight rating for Jedi for the guy.
Oh, pre-fight rating. What do you mean pre-fight rating?
Give us a score out of 10 for the card.
For the matchups.
Yeah.
For the whole card, like what's your rating for the whole card?
Yeah, no, good fights. I think every single fight is every matchup on the main card is fantastic fights. I would give this one a solid 9.
Sure.
Oh,
maybe.
I
massive.
think
guy,
there's good matchups. Yeah, I can fight
This man is
going
crazy,
down.
bro. We better finish
Yeah.
this episode before he goes completely loony.
For me personally, I'm also gonna give it a good rating. I'm not gonna give it a 9 because that would be me just being biased towards Max and Dustin. But the main card is really good. It's good matchups there. Prelims have good matchups on it. The early prelims have good names, but not like great matchups. So I'm gonna give it a 7, right? And I'm expecting it to go higher than that. I'm giving it a 7 because the UFC is putting on some boring cards of late, but let's just be real. So I'm gonna start with a 7, but I do expect this number to go up by the end of this weekend.
Why would it
All right,
go up?
hopefully so.
It's going to change from now to the weekend.
Because I feel like we're gonna get a lot of
Performances,
finishes. Yeah, performances.
Performances? Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Maybe
in
get
the
a-
same week.
Get a lot of finishes, good fights, the score can go up.
Uh,
That's but I don't
you're
watch.
gonna rate the
That's but I
podcast.
don't watch the podcast, bro. You don't watch the podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna actually go with a 5, bro. I don't think it's great. I think 5 only because of the main event. Bro, we got Roman Kopylov and Paulo Costa on the co-main. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Give me a break.
Yeah,
bro.
but they
Let's be
can,
real.
bro. They can just swap, bro. They can actually swap that out, and make the co-main Victoria and Brandon Allen, bro.
Doesn't make it any better for me, bro. Honestly, but that's like they're on the same level for me. Brendan Allen and Martin Vittori, Roman Kopylov, Paulo Costa. It's the same
Pretty
fight,
same.
bro. It's
I mean,
the
they're all
same
ranked
thing.
in 4. They're ranked in 4 places from
Yeah,
14
exactly.
to 11.
So-
That's how you put on the show.
This is a numbers card, my bro. It's supposed to be like bangers, bro. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a bit
bro.
underwhelmed.
I think the matchups are going to be good. I think we're going to see entertaining fights. I know it doesn't look that way on the card, but I think there's going to be some entertaining fights here. Just from what I can tell from previous fights with these guys.
Hope so. All right, boys, then we will get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Again, like, subscribe, all those good things. And we'll see you for the live One Friday Fights, 116. This Friday, 2:38 p.m. South African time. Let's go. Boha!